Unfortunately, I can't have the laser and talk at the same time due to the noise. But I don't know if you saw earlier, due to the age of the floor, that green laser will highlight all the imperfections in the floor. So no matter how many times you go over it with the fluffy, it looks like that is still dirty. It's not the fault of the vacuum, but for some OCD people out there, it can be kind of frustrating. You'll be wondering why you're vacuuming over and over and over again, but it looks like there's still stuff on there, but in reality, it's just scratches on the clear coat. Also, the laser only seems to work when it's somewhat dim in the room. If it's any brighter than that, or if direct sunlight, you're not going to really see that laser at all. The fluffy head, when it gets, the clearance gets really low, you can't just turn the motor head sideways like you can with the ball here. Just want to demonstrate that really quickly. See, with the ball, you can tilt the motor sideways and get a little bit further in underneath the bed. So. They call this screen a gimmick. In a way, I can see where they're coming from. It's nice to know how dirty your house is, but we all kind of expected that. I think the better thing is if they could tell us what we can do, or how can we reduce, dust mites, for example. Other than that, I think after a few times, you just don't really pay attention to that screen anymore. So the suction of both are pretty similar. That's to be expected. So while I was vacuuming that little area, I found that the V15 had more resistance on the carpet. Not really sure why that is, but you can see this one has that anti-tangle comb. It has a comb here that takes out some of the hair, whereas the older V11 does not. When you're not running the vacuum, both of these settings menu are exactly the same. As you saw, when it's running, the V15 has a counter of all the dust, the different particles you're picking up. They both have the exact same battery. So the motor on the V15 must be stronger. From what I saw online reviews, that V15 should be This V15 should be as powerful as the older V11 outsize. But in real world testing, me and my wife, we didn't find too much difference, to be frankly honest. They're just so good already in terms of power. Even the designs are very similar. Same filters. If it wasn't for the color change, they would look exactly the same. The dustbins are exactly the same size. In terms of attachments, you probably figured that most of them are the same. This has been pretty common for a few years now. So for final thoughts, let's first take away the common attachments because those are the same. So the question you've been asking, should you buy a V15? If you're new to the Dyson ecosystem, yes, it's a no-brainer. You get the fluffy head. Considering when these were the same prices brand new, you're getting more for the money with the V15. Granted, if your house is hardwood, this will have no use for you, but you can always sell it. And again, if your floors are really old and worn out like mine, that laser will tend to show any imperfections, scratches. It'll drive you nuts because you're trying to clean it over and over again, not realizing that it's not the vacuum that's not working, but your floor is just too dirty. And again, there's no ball assembly on here as compared to the normal motor heads. So it will be difficult, if not impossible, to squeeze under really tight spaces. And also, if you didn't know, the roller is quite smaller than the full-size one. Now, if you're the owner of a V11 like myself, is it worth paying $700 again for the V15 upgrading? Well, I think it's an incremental upgrade. You're pretty much paying for that particle counter, which I personally feel will get unnoticed after 5 minutes. The anti-tangle comb, which it does work if you compare the older one and the new one. You still have some hair that gets caught, but it's a lot less. So that's valuable to some people. In my personal opinion, the best upgrade is this anti-tangle tool. It works just so well. I'm kind of surprised why I didn't think of it earlier. Again, just a real world test. It's not scientific by any means, but you guys saw the hair that's around this bathroom. I'll let the video speak for itself. This comes with the V11, and this is the new anti-tangle tool on the V15. Just a very quick demonstration, but it does work. My personal hunch is that in a few months you will see these on eBay, probably for 20 bucks. So if you have a V11, I would simply just buy this when you see it on the secondhand market. It's going to happen eventually. I personally feel like it's a lot cheaper than buying a whole brand new vacuum just for these free attachments. But that's just my personal opinion. In terms of where to buy this vacuum, you can pretty much pick it up at any retail store, Best Buy, Home Depot. You could even go online, Amazon. However, if you get it direct from Dyson, you get a choice of, I believe they call it a clean and carry kit. There's 2 different tools you could choose from. I don't exactly remember which one my friend got. And this is free, so that's the one perk of getting it from Dyson direct. This label here, if for anyone who's getting these attachments online, a lot of fake stuff is on eBay, so make sure that this label is on your packaging. I actually got something that was removed and the seller claimed that it was genuine, and when you opened it, it wasn't. And honestly, these are really easy to counterfeit. It's just pieces of plastic, and they've gotten really good at it. It looks really similar to the real thing, so be aware of that. The only store I would not buy this from is Bed Bath & Beyond, and that's a whole nother video you could find here. So that's my final thoughts. I'll be giving this back to my friend next week, so if there's anything else you guys want to see in terms of comparison, just let me know.